Seiko gets quite a bit of flack these days, but mostly because they just aren't seen as that value rich brand that they once were in the not too distant past. I'm talking like 7, 8 years ago. But there is no denying that they can make some really compelling watches, that they do so on a regular basis. Now, Seiko will always be a personal favorite brand of mine, so maybe I'm just a little bit biased, but I gravitate usually to the retro inspired designs from Seiko. The SLA051 cracks my own watch rotation often, and then the watch in front of the camera today falls right in line with what I really like to see from this Japanese brand. Thank you, as always, to Exquisite Timepieces for providing this watch for this video. I've worked with Exquisite for years in creating content as well as buying watches from them. My Uemura came from this family-owned Florida-based AD. They have over 60 brands, including Seiko, Grand Seiko. If you are shopping or maybe wanting to trade in any watch, reach out to my guy Joe. Links will be below. Now, this Seiko Navigator is a faithful reissue of a watch from 1968. The original 6117-8000 was Seiko's first GMT that carried a rotating 24-hour bezel, and this modern SPB411, I think, captures nearly identical dimensions, color palette, overall details. It's a really exciting release from Seiko. Now, again, I do enjoy a good retro reissue, especially when the brand just nails the essence of what made the original so good or so compelling. So this is a solid example of a watch brand doing a reissue very well. It's not identical in every aspect, but I would say it's close where it counts. Yes, I would have liked to see Navigator timer on the dial, as well as 70-meter water resist, even though this one has 100 meters of water resistance, but I don't consider those 2 points deal breakers. Seiko got the applied logo correct, the beveled hands and the small red GMT hand, the short red GMT hand, they really look good. The Sunray anthracite dial is spot on, and the stainless steel bezel is a friction bidirectional spinning bezel, just like the original. The case finishing is period authentic or correct, as is the small recessed crown here at the 430 position of the case. The box crystal is properly shaped and proud. Seiko even went to the effort of placing a 5-link style linear bracelet that is pretty similar to the original bracelet option, but definitely far superior in terms of the quality. Turning the watch over, you will notice a horseshoe style case back with the text and the layout just like you would see on a 6117-8000, but inside the case is a different caliber than the old 6117 movement. This is called the 6R54. It beats at 21,600 beats every hour, or 3 hertz. It has 24 jewels, DiaShock shock protection, a Spron 510 mainspring, and 72 hours of power reserve. Yes, this will be a dual time style GMT, sometimes referred to as a collar type GMT. And the daily accuracy spec is not anything special. That value is -15 to +25 seconds per day. Its general design is based off of the older 6R35 movement, and it's not particularly impressive when it comes to the finished work. But let me wrap up this overview with a couple observations, and let me know what you think about them below. The retail price on this Pro Specs watch or professional specification level watch is $1,500. So definitely not an inexpensive piece, but not outside of what we're used to seeing from Seiko these days. But in handling this Navigator reissue, I think it feels like a King Seiko level watch, meaning a small step above most Pro Specs models, but a definite step below Grand Seiko or other LX level watches from Seiko. This 411 has the striations on the tall applied markers. Those have a nice level of light reflection and add an overall sense of attention to detail to the package. The case and bracelet brushing is crisp and defined. There will be no hot spots on this watch. The dial fonts are period correct, and in my I don't want to sound like some sort of a tool here, but in my fairly large experience with Seiko, this just feels like a King Seiko level product, a little bit higher than what you would expect. And so I'm slightly surprised that it isn't priced closer to $2,000, because that wouldn't surprise me looking at the quality of the watch and then looking at a retail price that's higher than what the retail price is right now. Now, would I like to see general improvements to the link connection, the clasp micro adjustments, the movement accuracy, the movement finish? Absolutely. Would I like to see a traveler's GMT as opposed to a collar style GMT? Definitely. I think Seiko needs to address those aspects if they want to remain competitive in future years, but the intent of this reissue was to accurately capture that old school Seiko magic that I know a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's my opinion, even with areas that could be improved, that Seiko has succeeded here. I personally really like this watch, and I hope to see more releases like this in the future. Links to exquisite timepieces will be below. Again, they are highly recommended by me because of years of experience in working with and buying from them. If you enjoyed this look at this Seiko SPB411 Navigator, please subscribe. I post all kinds of great watch content, and I do it every few days. Thanks.